Yo, if you ever know me, I'm 5. Guys, you ever wonder, what if we are the, what if we are the, oh my god, I can't remember the title of the video. What if we're the aliens, bro? Like, seriously, think about that for a second. We always walk around here, I don't know, we're just so much smarter than the, like, than a pigeon, and it's like, I don't know what. I've been seeing shit, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, look at all these kids. I don't know, bro. Maybe it's the lighting and stuff because there's a lot of shadows in my room. But whatever. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's the fact that all these animals, right? They're here and they're just like so nonchalant. And they don't have to act nonchalant. They just are. Let's get into the video.
Species on this planet has spent millions of years adapting to Earth. Fish developed gills to breathe underwater. Birds evolved hollow bones to fly. Polar bears grew thick fur to survive the Arctic. And then there's us. We burn in our own sunlight. Our spines are falling apart. We give birth in a process so violent it kills us more than any other mammal on the planet.
Yeah, what if
we're
we're
the
the
only
aliens?
species that looked around at the world it evolved in and thought, something's off. What if the reason we don't fit on Earth is because we're not from here? Let's start with your skin. You walk outside on a clear day. Give it 15 minutes, your skin starts to burn. You turn
we're like
red,
the
you
only
blister,
smart
you peel,
species.
and no other species on Earth has this problem. Not at this scale. Lizards sit in direct sunlight for hours. Dogs, cats, horses, elephants, they spend their entire lives under the same sun and handle it just fine.
Yeah, like they don't tan. You know, animals don't tan or burn or like.
Their fur, their scales,
You know what I'm
their
saying?
pigmentation, all perfectly calibrated for our star. Ours isn't. We literally had to invent a chemical paste and rub it on ourselves just to go outside safely. Think about that for a second. We invented sunscreen because our own sun is trying to kill us. Now, look at your back. 80% of humans will experience chronic back pain at some point in their lives, when 4 out of 5 members of your species share the same structural problem. You stop blaming the individual and start looking at the blueprint. Our spines are essentially a horizontal bridge that evolution tried to stand upright. The discs between our vertebrae compress under gravity in ways they were never meant to handle.
Okay.
Other bipedal animals like kangaroos and ostriches don't have this issue. Their bodies were built from the ground up for standing. Ours were retrofitted badly. Then there's childbirth. This one's rough. Human childbirth is the most dangerous birth process of any mammal on the planet.
How
Our
the
babies'
hell?
heads are so big they barely fit through the birth canal. Before modern medicine, giving birth was one of the leading causes of death.
1 in 18 died in childbirth. That is crazy. Does it still happen?
For women throughout all of human history. No other species routinely dies trying to deliver healthy offspring. That's just us. A horse gives birth in about 30 minutes. The foal stands up and walks within the hour. A human baby can't even hold up its own head for months. We show up completely useless, dependent on others for years, more helpless than any other animal that has ever existed on this planet. And then there are allergies. Your immune system has one job: protect you. But in humans, this system regularly goes to war against things that are completely harmless. Pollen, peanuts, dust, cat hair, shellfish. About 30% of the
Yeah, why are we all so allergic to these things though? Cat hair.
global
Like, my
population
room is
has
where it's at.
allergies. Your own
I blame
defense
men.
system is
What the fuck?
attacking the
Stop
air you
blaming
breathe
men.
and the food
We're the
you
reason
eat.
we're
Either
here.
evolution made a serious mistake, or your body is calibrated for somewhere else entirely. But the strangest part isn't physical. It's in your head. No other animal on Earth knows it's going to die. Dogs don't lie awake wondering what happens after death. Dolphins don't have existential crises. Elephants don't build religions to cope with the terror of mortality. But we do. All of us. We are the only species walking around with the full awareness that one day we'll stop existing. And instead of just dealing
Oh
with it,
my
we've
God,
spent
that's
our
so
entire
true.
history trying to solve it. We build temples, we write philosophies, we create entire civilizations organized around the question of what happens when we die. Why would evolution do this to us?
And we
Seriously,
still don't know the
what
answer of
survival
what happens
advantage
when we
does
die.
existential dread provide? For most of human history, this awareness has driven people to despair, to madness, to war. It feels like a feature you'd find in a species that's out of place.
Nah, seriously, I
Conscious
feel like,
enough
bro, that's so like sometimes like bro, I be thinking about like whenever I go into that rabbit hole at night, I'm like, yo, like what happens when you die? Like, you know, you start thinking about these things. It's just like, bro, how do I even know that? Like, think about it. Every year, we go through the day, we pass by the day that we die. Like we go through the day, our birth year and our death year, our birthday and our death day. Wow. Oh my God, that's so wild. What the fuck?
To sense something is wrong, but unable to figure out what. And then there's the one that's hardest to explain away. Every species on this planet exists in some kind
How do
of
we know
balance with
this?
its ecosystem. Predators keep prey in check. Prey keeps plant life in check.
Maybe we need to leave.
Decomposers recycle
Maybe,
nutrients.
bro, we came into Earth because our world, we fucked it up so bad that we had to go to a new world, and then this world was only for the animals. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this world right now was just for this world, this planet was only for the animals already in here. It was for them, and then we messed up our planet so bad we had to come in here and you know what I'm saying? Become
It's back into the soil. It's a closed loop. Everybody plays their part.
Now we're about to go to
except
Mars.
us. We clear-cut forests, we poison rivers, we pump the atmosphere full of gases that heat the planet. We've driven thousands of species to extinction, and we're not even close to slowing down. We're not participating in Earth's ecosystem. We're taking it apart. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you'd expect from an invasive species.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
dropped onto a planet it wasn't built for. It doesn't know the rules because the rules weren't written for it. So if we really don't belong here, where did we come from? In 1973, Francis Crick published a paper that should have shaken the scientific world. He won the Nobel Prize in 1962 for figuring out how the molecule that carries all of life.
That's another thing too. That is like it blows my mind, right? So this guy wins a Nobel Prize, and that's his credibility. But it's like the person who created the Nobel Prize was a regular human being. Like this, like what makes that guy smarter than this guy? Just because he gave him an award that, like, think about it like this. It's like if I went up to somebody and be like, hey, you're the best brother in your family. I don't know his brothers. I don't know nobody else. And why is me saying that credible? Like, why is that like I give him an award that says he's the best brother. And for years I just keep giving people that I think are the best brothers the best brother award. And now I become the best brother award company. And now people actually believe me that I know what it's like to be the best brother, but I was just like, I just took a guess one day and people just fucked with it.
Life's instructions actually works. He's one of the most important scientists who ever lived. And in that 1973 paper...
But like what I'm trying to say is that, yo, these people that give out these awards, it was just some random... Like, this wasn't something that was just created out of nowhere. Like, the person who created the Grammys didn't just wake up one day and said, oh my God, the Grammys exist. Like, no, it was a kid that grew up and was like, you know what, like the Grammys, what if I invent an award that recognizes people that make really good music or films or whatever? No, but it's like, now you think the film is credible because they got this award, but it's like, he just came up with that.
Written with chemist Leslie
Every
Orville,
award is
he
a cash
proposed
grab.
something wild. He called it directed panspermia, the idea that life on Earth didn't start here, that it was deliberately seeded by an intelligent civilization from somewhere else in the galaxy.
Bro, I brought
the
my
man
tongue-
who
my
decoded
tongue
DNA
today.
looked at the story of life on Earth and said, I don't think
This is
this
so
adds
annoying.
up. And honestly, the evidence backing him up is hard to dismiss. Life showed up on Earth roughly 3.8 billion years ago. The planet itself is only about 4.5 billion years old. That means complex
Billions.
organic chemistry appeared just 700 million years after Earth formed. In geological time, that's basically overnight. The planet was still getting hammered by asteroids, still cooling from a molten hellscape of rock and toxic gas. And somehow, life popped up almost the second conditions allowed it. Biologists have always found that timing suspicious. Then there's the Murchison meteorite. In 1969, a rock from space crashed into southeastern Australia. When scientists cracked it open, they found over 90 different amino acids inside, the building blocks of life. And some of those amino acids are the exact same ones found in every living thing on Earth. Organic chemistry, just riding through space on a rock. And here's the thing.
I was just quiet for a second, but that just went to a rabbit hole in my brain, bro. Like, oh my God. Like, bro, this is actually generally so interesting because I see this, right, and I think about like religions, right, and how God and stuff. Everyone believes in this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I believe in God. There's something out there, but it's like, bro, there's so much to explain. Like, there's so much things to explain that don't make sense. Like, you don't just say like, okay, God created this within 4.8 billion years, like 4.8 billion years old. That's how old is the Earth. Where did God come from? Like, bro, it's too much. And then you think about like all these, like somebody could have really just came up with this one day and said, "Yo, you know what? Like, I don't have no explanation to this shit. Like, I have no explanation to how this phone was created. So I'm gonna just say Jeff Bezos did it.
We know life can actually survive out there.
Too deep.
Tardigrades, those
Like,
microscopic little guys that look like
too
eight-legged
far
gummy
ahead.
bears,
I mean,
have been
behind.
exposed to the vacuum of
Like,
space,
too many
to
billion years
cosmic
ago.
radiation, to temperatures near absolute zero, and they made it. In 2019, an Israeli spacecraft carrying tardigrades crashed on the moon. Scientists think some of them might still be viable up there, just sitting on the lunar surface, waiting. Life doesn't just exist on Earth. It can hitch a ride between worlds. In 2013,
Right.
ecologist Dr. Ellis Silver published a book called Humans Are Not From Earth, pulling together all the physiological evidence that we're poorly adapted to this planet. The sunburn, the back pain, the allergies, the dangerous childbirth, even our circadian rhythm being slightly off from a 24-hour cycle. He argued these weren't just
But
quirks of
what's
evolution.
circadian
They
rhythm?
were signs we came from somewhere else. But here's where it gets complicated, because mainstream biology actually has a pretty good answer for almost all of it. It's called evolutionary mismatch. And honestly, it might be even more interesting than the alien theory. Back pain. We only started walking upright about 6 million years ago. Sounds ancient, right? But evolution moves slow, really slow. Our spines haven't had enough generations to fully figure out this whole standing thing. We're basically walking around in a prototype that never got its final update. Sunburn.
Right.
We lost our body hair. Best theory is thermoregulation. When our ancestors moved from forests onto open savannas, they needed to cool down while running for hours under the African sun. Sweat works way better on bare skin than through fur. So we traded our protective coat for the ability to outrun literally every other animal on the planet. The sunburn is just the price we pay. Childbirth. Our brains get bigger faster than our birth canals could keep up. Scientists call it the obstetric dilemma. Evolution was trying to make us smarter and keep us upright at the same time, and the pelvis basically got caught in the middle. It's messy. It's dangerous. But it makes sense. Even the environmental destruction thing has a rational explanation. We evolved in small groups on the savannah where resources felt endless compared to how few of us there were. Our brains are wired for short-term survival, not managing an entire planet's ecosystem. We're not alien invaders. We're just an animal that got way too powerful, way too fast for its own wiring to handle. So that settles it, right? Well, not quite, because even after all those explanations, there's one thing evolutionary biology still can't fully account for: the speed. No species in the 4 billion year history of life on Earth has ever done what we did. Dolphins have been around for roughly 50 million years. They're smart. They have complex social lives. They communicate. And in all that time, they have never built a single tool. Not one. Chimpanzees figured out sticks about 4 million years ago. They have not filed a single upgrade since. And then there's us. We went from sharpened rocks to nuclear weapons in about 2 million years. From fire to the International Space Station. From cave paintings to artificial intelligence. From banging flint together to landing robots on Mars. 200 years ago, we didn't have railroads. 125 years ago, airplanes didn't exist. 75 years ago, we hadn't been to space. 35 years ago, there was no internet. Nothing in the entire history of life on this planet has ever accelerated like that. Nothing even comes close. And scientists still can't agree on why. Some think it was language. Some think it was cooking, which gave us more calories and let our brains get bigger. Some point to a mutation in a gene called FOXP2.
Yeah, but then that all animals cook. Well, they eat raw.
May have unlocked complex speech. Others say it was our ability to teach, to stack knowledge across generations so each one picked up where the last left off. All of those probably played a role, but none of them fully explain the sheer speed of it. Every other intelligent species on Earth took tens of millions of years to develop gradually. We went from prey animal to running the entire planet in what amounts to a geological blink.
Yeah, like we that is like the biggest, like, bro. we are the predators now. No matter what, like at the end of the day, we got guns, we got weapons, we got all types of stuff. So like, you know what I'm saying? We have animals
Explain
in
it.
zoos
Silver couldn't
and
explain it,
stuff.
and modern evolutionary biology can explain pieces of it, but not the whole thing. Not yet. The most honest answer science has right now is we don't fully know. We've got pieces, we don't have the full picture, and that's what keeps the question alive. Look, it's probably not true that we're
Yeah, Pat, you
aliens,
can get a
but
pet line.
evolutionary evidence is strong. Mismatch theory handles most of the weird stuff about our bodies. We're almost certainly a product of this planet, shaped by the same forces that shaped everything else here. But almost certainly is not definitely. And when real scientists, including one of the founders of modern genetics, look at the evidence and say, something here doesn't quite add up, that's not conspiracy talk. That's just science doing what science does, asking the uncomfortable questions and being
figuring
honest when the
shit
answers
out.
don't come out clean. It's the same curiosity that made us look up at the stars in the first place, the same restlessness that made us build rockets and telescopes and send little robots to other planets just to see what's there. Maybe that restlessness isn't a flaw. Maybe it's a clue, because if we are from here, then we're the strangest thing this planet has
And
ever
like, think about
produced.
it. Us like that, like it's like so many rankings too. I feel like when it comes to this, like the president knows so much stuff that we don't know. In terms like he knows how Mars looks, he knows how certain things look, right? He like obviously we see in pictures, but he gets on like the data very like day to day, right? And it's like we still gotta climb so much ladder to even like not even ladder as in like like evolution, but more as in like status to know more about what's going on with Earth. Because now the people that know a lot about the Earth, they gatekeep that information. Don't want to say anything.
Species that burns in its own sunlight, breaks under its own gravity, and can't stop looking at the sky wondering where it really came from. And if we're not from here, then we've been trying to find our way home for 200,000 years, and we don't even know it.
That's crazy. Anyways, hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys.